Why do I?
I can't stand them.
Bro, but why? I kind of want them to beat the Dodgers.
Nah, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I would never. They got bets with the Dodgers.
I know, but like,
I'm not crazy about Mookie either because I know that we got rid of him and stuff. But I think if he really wanted to stay, they could have made it work.
right.
And, I mean, I don't know. I would like for him to win another one too, but I would definitely. There's no way I could want the Yankees to win another one.
I know, but it's just like I don't like the Dodgers either.
I don't either. I hate them both, but
It's kind of like it was kind of best case scenario for the league because it's like a bunch of like hate watching will be happening, but to me, I would have rather like any other option. Like once it got down to the last four,
I think the Mets would have been cool, like New York.
A Subway Series, World Series. Has that happened? I don't know the history.
I think maybe once. We were talking about it before with my dad. I think he said maybe like in the 90s, but it's terrible for marketing for them because it's just the whole New York market.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get many outside people watching it, but that would have been sick, though.
It would have.
And the Yanks would have swept.
Yeah. I mean, but if the Mets were good enough to beat the Dodgers, like...
It's any given day.
To beat the Dodgers, then maybe they could have carried that into the Yankees.
Yeah.
Because the Dodgers are definitely good enough to beat the Yankees. And sometimes it feels like that in baseball. Like, you get to the playoffs, and then, like, a team that wasn't as good will beat, like, a better team. And then all of a sudden, they look like a juggernaut. You know what I mean?
That's what happens. Like, the Braves won, like, 2 years ago or 3, and they've been terrible since.
Yeah, they just looked like a juggernaut for a little bit. It's just...
If you're hot, you're hot at the end of the day. And that's what baseball is. Like, if your hitters are hitting well and you have decent pitching, like, you can beat anyone.
Does it kind of not ruin the baseball playoffs? Because I know that it's like so exciting, but does it kind of like cheapen it a little bit to be like, oh well, just they were hot, you know?
It definitely taints it a little bit from like a viewer's perspective, but even just throughout playing sports and stuff, like I know when even you probably relate when you're on a team where you feel like you don't have a chance. Like if you played like Everett in basketball,
Oh yeah,
I think I don't know, from a viewer's perspective, it stinks, but like. Being on a team like that is cool.
Yeah, and then also, you know, every once in a while you beat Everett. Been there. In Everett on Friday. That was the best. We thought someone on our team got shot. That was crazy too. Remember that?
That was a different time though, right?
Was it?
I think. I don't know.
Because remember we got like police escorted out of the.
Yeah, I was on JV. I think maybe it was my junior year then. Were you on varsity junior year? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, but I think it was.
But you played, yeah, because you played.
Yeah,
I don't think I went then. Maybe I wasn't there.
Might have been the year prior then. I think you're right.
Who knows? But yeah, that was crazy.
But yeah, you're right. I think it's kind of like it sucks from a viewer's perspective sometimes when you see like just a nasty team just run through like a dog shit team because they're hot and the team's not. But the NBA is kind of getting like that more too now. Like I don't know, the Celtics will just hit like 55% from three last night. You know, they'll hit a record 33s, and it's like the Knicks didn't stand a chance.
Yeah,
you know, the whole night there was never a shot. That to me at least a little, and I love hoop, you know that, but it's cheapened basketball for me a little bit. It's just like, oh well, they hit shots and they didn't.
Yeah,
you know, is that the end? Is that what it is though? Like
I don't know. We would have beat anyone last night. Easily. I mean,
like any team.
Crazy.
Like they were saying, the announcer said like you could form an all-star team.
Yeah, they said that. They said something like that. They were like you can get like the top 25 all-stars. Or something. They want to beat the Celtics tonight.
It felt like that.
Yeah,
it really did. I mean, if they're all gonna play like that, they're all just not gonna miss.
I know.
Then I don't care what collection of guys you throw out against them, it just wasn't gonna work.
Yeah.
So when that's the case, and same thing in baseball, like it's like when you got your, 6 through 9 guys batting crazy, and like a good example for the Dodgers, like a guy like Kike Hernandez, who like fucking doesn't he kind of suck?
Yeah, he's
like,
rolling right now.
But then he rolls.
Playoff Kike is different. He's down like 350 right now.
I mean, and to be fair, at least he's like consistently done that in October.
Only October, that's it.
But at least there's like a little bit of evidence to be like, all right, maybe we watch out for this guy. But like it must suck when like I don't know. I'm trying to think back. Like remember Steve Pierce? For us,
can't forget that.
What a run by that guy!
And he's terrible.
And who even like what the fuck?
I know.
Was he the MVP?
Yeah.
Like what?
And then he might have retired that year, or he played one more. I think he might have left and played one more, or he retired. But
Steve Pierce,
terrible.
Yeah, but he cooked.
Yeah,
and it's just like, is that the end of it? Like he cooked, so now we win. You know, or not just him, but like the bottom of the lineup cooked, so now we win.
Yeah, because we probably don't win with. We probably win without him, but like I don't know. It's tough to say because we could win the World Series without him, but we wouldn't have been there without him.
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard to kind of compare it, but yeah, that was unbelievable.
And then I think about like in basketball last year with the Mavericks, it was like the opposite. It's like, all right, well, our guys aren't going to hit threes from above the break. That's the series. You know what I mean? Like, because if they hit some threes, like, I forget what games it was. Like game 3, I think was really close, and they could have won, and they ended up, they do take one, and
yeah, I think that's when we went to watch.
Yeah,
we were up by like 20 in the third quarter. They came back and took the lead, but we still won.
But like, imagine if we were able to imagine if they were able to just hit some threes, and then all of a sudden, it might be a series.
Yeah, they were brick. Luka was terrible.
Yeah,
Kyrie was awful. They were all shot terrible, the whole team.
And I think we're attributing it to our defense, like the situations we put them in. But like, what if they just like hit those shots instead?
Yeah.
So it's been kind of cheapening basketball for me. I think I just need to see this kind of develop a little bit more. Like teams are shooting more threes now than ever. It looks like after last night, that's a trend that's going to very much continue. And so yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. And but the World Series starts Friday. And in LA, correct?
Correct.
What's gonna happen? What's the big storylines heading in? Because me, again, I'm not a huge baseball guy. I have watched some games this year in the playoffs, but I kind of just like watch them for what they are. Like I'm not like too invested into what's happening outside of them.
For me, I would say I think the biggest storylines for the Yankees specifically, obviously the Dodgers won recently. The Yankees, we know they've had their postseason struggles for a while. Without even getting to a World Series, like they couldn't even get out like the ALDS, and even Judge, he struggles in the playoffs. He's been like sub 200 the whole playoffs, and they're still in the World Series. But I don't know. It could really go either way. Both of the teams are stacked. Like if you just put their lineups with each other, it's gonna be tough to beat. If I had to like really make a prediction, I think the Dodgers probably. I would say Dodgers in 6 would be my guess.
Do you think there's any chance Ohtani pitches?
I was going to bring that up too. I was going to say that might be something to keep an eye on. I don't know where he's at though, but I've seen videos of him throwing like bullpens and stuff. I think if they really need him, they could go to him, but I don't think he will, honestly.
What would be like? Because you wouldn't want to just put him in 7, right?
No,
in Game 7.
That's what I was going to say. If they really needed him, I think it really depends how it plays out. Because if they go down like 3-0, like he's not going to play, or if they go up 3-0, vice versa, he's not going to pitch. But if it's like 2-2, Game 5, and like I don't think he'll start. But if they need like an inning out of someone or two, I think they throw him in.
Dave Roberts is dying for the moment. He's dying for it. I don't know. I think to me, like as a guy who literally was like, and made his career off of like that moment, made his whole like life off of that moment, like for the Sox. I think he's probably looking to Ohtani like, hey kid, like just be ready.
He probably wants to go to Ohtani. I bet they're the ones holding him back at this point because they're like, we don't want to risk anything next year, which is fair. But like, I don't know. For the exchange of a World Series, I'd do it. But
yeah, I mean, you never know when it will come around again.
Yeah,
because even a team like the Dodgers, like we've seen them choke many years in the playoffs. You said the Yankees, they put competitive team after competitive team out there, spend all the money in the world. Doesn't matter. It's like sometimes the World Series just doesn't come around. You come across these teams nowadays that are like homegrown that almost look as good as the teams you buy. Like those Orioles, I guess they fizzled out pretty fast in the playoffs, correct?
Yeah, they've been struggling. But like there's payroll teams, like I forget which team it was. It might have been the Marlins or something, but their whole team's like 18 million payroll. Like and there's players like the Yankees and Dodgers, like both teams, they probably have like 6 or more players that make more than that just themselves every year.
That's insane.
And it's half on the owner's fault too because they don't want to put money into the team, kind of like our situation. But
we'll get into that in a second.
But still, like I don't know, it's just crazy because it's just like if you assemble the right team, like you said, the money doesn't matter. The Dodgers and Yanks have been the like highest payroll teams forever now, and like obviously the Dodgers have been more successful than the Yankees, but no matter the amount of money you spend, it doesn't matter if like they don't play.
Yeah, all it gets you is like an opportunity, but then like the playoffs are a legit wash. Like it feels like you can anything can happen. Obviously this year it's hard to say that because they both made it.
Exactly.
But it does typically this doesn't happen honestly, which is funny because it's the two teams that spend significantly more than everybody else. I mean, you could probably put the Padres are in that conversation now too, right?
Yeah, they're
spend
up
a ton
there.
of money.
Yeah.
Any other teams that I'm missing that I don't really know about that spend a ton of money?
Sox are up there low key, even though like it's just because we have like some big contracts, but I'm trying to think. Orioles are getting up there now because all their players need to sign extensions because they're all young. But I can't think of any, honestly, off the top of my head right now. It's more the Padres are up there, but a lot of teams try and stay under the tax in the MLB compared to like the NBA. Or I feel like do a lot of teams go over in the NBA?
Not you know about the.
Besides
I told you about that apron. Those aprons in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's there's like 4 different tiers of thresholds, so it's kind of like the max threshold. I don't think we'll see a lot of teams over that.
Yeah, so
I think we are technically, but we're
yeah, I think it's tough. I honestly I feel like it's mainly just the Yanks and Dodgers. They've been doing it forever, and it pays off because you get the better players. And yeah, you're gonna have more like better seasons than other teams. But if you're not winning the World Series, it's like, what are you spending all this money for?
So, and to that point, it's like, well, it's game 6. You're down 3-2. You're the Dodgers. You're Dave Roberts. You're up 1. You're going into the 8th inning, and you need 1 inning before you can put in your closer. And you're like, you know what? Hey, Shohei, you wanna get up and moving in the pen while we're up at bat? I don't know. I think that's a perfect scenario. I think that fires up your crowd.
Yeah.